Three burly guys jeered louder with each vicious jab, tearing into a young black single mom fighting to keep it together in public. All she needed was a few things for a kid, but instead, she became their punching bag, cruel, racist barbs from three white men. The grocery store went mute. No one stepped up, no one stood with her. Then, from the distant end of the icy aisle, a figure moved forward, calm, solid, unbreakable. In moments, he hushed the crowd. That man was Vin Diesel. No fame, no fuss, just him. The dim lights of the QuickSave on Elm Street buzzed as the doors parted, and Vin Diesel stepped in. It was late afternoon in Fresno, California, a regular day in a quiet corner of town. That's why he was there. No crowds, no hype, just peace. Vin stayed low-key, black hoodie up, cap tilted down, earbuds in but silent. A habit to dodge small talk. After months of chaos and media glare, he craved anonymity. He needed bread, soy milk, protein bars, and juice. He glided past the aisles, unnoticed. He kept his head down, avoiding eyes. Some kids haggled over sodas in the back. An elderly pair inspected pears, and a toddler wailed somewhere far off. Vin savored the stillness, the chance to blend in. Just as he hit the frozen section, a harsh sound cut to the store's hum. Not screams, but biting, mocking tones, loud enough to echo, sly enough to skirt trouble. Sarcasm dripped with malice. He tilted his head slightly, catching sight of a young black woman at the self-checkout, cornered by cruelty. She was maybe 25, standing tense at the kiosk, her name tag reading Shanice. She wore a worn gray shirt with a cleaning crew logo, a girl about 5 clinging to her leg, eyes big and weary. Shanice scanned a loaf of bread and a pack of wipes, her hands unsteady as she dug through her purse. Behind her, 3 white guys in their 30s, jeans, trucker hats, brash voices, loomed. One, stocky and flushed, lobbed a jar of sauce into his cart like a free throw. "Think she'll give me a deal if I flirt?" he sneered. His buddy chimed in, "Nah, she's just teaching her girl to hustle young. Gotta admire that hustle." The third leaned close, his smirk a loud whisper, "Bet she's got 4 baby daddies, easy." Their cackles sliced through the air, sharp and merciless. The cashier stared at the floor. Shoppers turned away. Everyone acted like it was invisible, but it was loud, blatant, steeped in hate. Vin paused, his shadow caught in the freezer glass, eyes narrowing as the scene sank in. He'd seen this before, not on a screen, but in real life. His mom had been Shanice once, scraping by, juggling jobs, holding it together for him while strangers mocked her at the register. He remembered being that kid, small, lost, ashamed not of her, but the world's coldness. He recalled the bystander's silence, her quiet breaths as she swallowed the hurt to survive. The third guy puckered his lips loudly. "Hey, darling," he taunted. "Swipe that card twice. Once for her, once for me." That was enough. Vin set his duffel by the soda fridge, moving slow and quiet, a storm brewing under still waters. No one noticed until he was steps away. His voice came low, firm. "Back off." The trio spun. The stocky one squinted. "You talking to us?" Vin didn't flinch. "Let her pay and leave." Shanice glanced up, startled, her daughter gripping her tighter. She didn't see a star, just a man where no one else stood. "Stay out of it, pal." The second guy huffed, chest puffed. Vin stepped closer. "My business," Vin said, steady, "is stopping 3 adults from ganging up on a mom in front of her kid. So yeah, this is mine now." The third shifted, tension thickening. A kid nearby whipped out a phone, filming. The guy in the trucker hat didn't like the power flip. He lunged, shoving Vin hard in the chest. Not strong, but dumb. Vin didn't budge, didn't sway. He caught the guy's wrist, twisted it smooth, and dropped him to one knee with clean precision, no fuss. The man grimaced, but stayed quiet. Vin leaned in, voice soft. "I won't break you, but I can. Think about it." He let go, stepped back. The guy rose, ego dented and retreated. His friends trailed, bravado gone. The store's silence shifted, not indifference now, but shock. Shanice stood still, card shaking in her hand. Vin turned to her, gentler. "You good?" She nodded, tears held back. Her daughter peeked up, curious. No need to thank me, he said. Finish up, get home safe. She reached for the bread she dropped, fingers fumbling. Vin knelt, picked it up, set it in her cart with care. Then he spoke, not loud but clear. You don't owe anybody a reason for getting by. Shanice froze. What? He met her gaze. I saw you look down, like you had to justify that card. You don't. You're doing this for your kid, that's plenty. They locked eyes briefly, wordless. An older woman, maybe 70, stepped up. I'll walk her out, she said. She's been through enough. Shanice nodded, eyes wet but steady, adjusting her daughter against her hip. She swiped her card. The beep rang loud. The groceries bagged. Her girl hugged her neck tight as they headed out. At the door, Shanice glanced back. I didn't think anyone would step in. Never do. Vin gave a slight nod. They should have. They should now. A few claps started, but he raised a hand. Not mad, just done. This wasn't a show. He grabbed his duffel, lingered by the freezer, letting the moment sink in. Someone yelled, Hey, what's your name? Vin didn't reply. It wasn't about him, it was bigger. He didn't linger. He slung his duffel over his shoulder and slipped out the side exit by the loading docks. No drama, no looks, just quiet. He skipped the soy milk and bars. Shopping fell off after that, like joking it awake. Outside, the air was sharp, cool with dusk. He stood near the exit, hands deep in his pockets, staring across the sparse lot as cars drifted in and out. No one shouted, no one filmed, yet he knew it was already online. That kid with the phone had caught it all, and Vin knew the web speed. He didn't mind. He just didn't chase it. This wasn't staged. It was real, messy, human, now out there for all. He found a bench at the lot's edge, sat slow, and checked his phone. Alerts flashed, unknown text, social media pings. Vin Diesel trended, without a word to anyone. His face was everywhere, captioned 1,000 ways. Vin Diesel shuts down racist in Fresno store. Real-life hero saves black mom from jerks. One post looped his line. You don't owe anybody a reason for getting by. It spread fast, tied to pics of single parents, workers, folks with food stamps like hidden scars. He watched the clip, saw himself step in, twist that wrist, hand Shanice the bread. It felt odd, seeing himself not as a role, but a man who couldn't stay quiet. A gray SUV rolled up. Shanice sat shotgun, her daughter asleep in her arms. A woman in a teacher's vest drove, maybe a friend. Shanice leaned out the window. She finally crashed, she said softly, then walked over, hands still pocketed. She looks calm, he said. Always does after a meltdown, Shanice replied, like she unloads and restarts. She paused. I didn't think help would come, not there. He nodded. Shouldn't be a surprise, but I get it. Her voice softened, fragile. I felt tiny, like I didn't fit, like I should vanish. Vin shook his head. You belong more than they did. She let out a long-held breath. I don't know if guys like you get what that meant, not just the words, but when you said them. You kept it low, didn't let it explode. He shrugged. Didn't do anything big, just didn't ignore you. Her eyes met his, no tears, just a shared understanding. Two souls shaped by the world's weight in different ways. If you're ever around, she said, a faint grin, I make killer apple pie. Vin smirked. That's a risk. The driver leaned over. We gotta roll, she said kindly. Shanice waved. The window slid up, and the SUV eased away. Vin watched the taillights fade, then headed to his truck. He didn't check his phone again, just sat in the driver's seat, engine off, soaking in the quiet. He thought of his mom, how often she stood in lines like that, cleaning the pride with shaky hands. He thought of the cashier's averted eyes, the little girl watching the world let her mom down, until someone didn't. His phone buzzed. Trey, his old friend, flashed on the screen. You okay? Trey asked, no fluff. Yeah, Vin said. Saw the clip. Trey went on. Your name's everywhere, blogs, news, all of it. Spin it or let it ride. Vin exhaled. Let it ride. Figured. But heads up, this won't fade quick. Didn't do it for that, Vin said plain. I know. That's why it's hitting. They sat quiet a beat. Gym tomorrow? Trey asked. Not tonight, Vin replied. Cool, Trey said. Proud of you, man. Vin hung up, started the truck, but didn't drive, just let it hum. He replayed that line. Don't owe anybody a reason for getting by. It slipped out unplanned, but now it lived, shared with stories of struggle, poverty, judgment, feeling out of place where everyone should fit. Next morning, his phone was dead by dawn, voicemail packed, battery gone. The clip hit the news, raw, no polish, just him, hoodie up, voice even, hand steady, that line ringing out. Influencers tag him, shows called. He ignored it, hit the gym. Same truck, same vibe, letting the world spin without him. Trey met him with a tablet and a grin. Today's show wants you tomorrow. Vin didn't look. No press. This ain't press, Trey said. It's people needing your voice. Vin taped his wrists, stood. The video's enough. Trey eyed him. Remember that fight outside Jefferson High? Yeah, Vin said. You didn't swing back. Would have been me in cuffs. Said that in the ER. Still true, Vin replied. I only step in when someone's counting on it. Trey nodded, no pushback left. Vin sat in his truck, engine idling, mind drifting to his mom. How many times she'd face lines like that, hands unsteady but spirit unbroken. He thought of the cashier's blank stare, the little girl's wide eyes as the world ignored her mom, until he didn't. His phone buzzed. Trey again. The screen read. You good? Trey asked, straight to it. Yeah, Vin replied. No preamble needed. Videos everywhere, Trey said. Blogs, tickers, all lit up. Spin it or let it roll. Vin sighed. Let it roll, not chasing the noise. Knew you'd say that, Trey said. But this ain't dying down. People are talking. Didn't do it for talk, Vin said, firm. That's why it's big. Trey shot back. A pause hung between them. Gym tomorrow? Trey asked. Yeah, Vin said. Call me then. Proud of you, man. Vin hung up, let the truck idle longer, staring into the dusk. That line, you don't owe anybody a reason for getting by, had slipped out raw, unscripted. Now it echoed, tied to stories of grit, shame, and quiet fights everywhere. By sunrise, his phone was toast, battery drained, inbox stuffed. The clip hit mainstream, no frills, just him, hoodie up, voice low, hand sure, that line cutting deep. Influencers pinged him, podcasts begged for chats. He skipped it all, hit the gym. Same duffel, same cap, same focus. Trey greeted him with a raised brow, tablet glowing. Good morning, America's calling, he said. Vin taped his knuckles, ignored it. No press. This is more, Trey pressed. People need you. Vin stood. Video says it all. Trey studied him. Remember that scrap outside Jefferson High? Yeah, Vin said, wrapping his hands. You didn't hit back. Would have been me locked up, Vin replied. Told me that in the ER. Blood on your shirt. Still holds, Vin said. I only move when it's needed. Trey nodded, argument done. Across town, Shanice sat on her couch, her daughter napping beside her. A friend had texted the clip. She hesitated, shame still stung, but watched. Once, twice, 3 times, see herself shrink. Then Vin rise, steady, no show, just there. She opened her phone, tapped the notes app, and wrote. She typed about losing her gig at the warehouse after cuts. Picking up night shifts at a diner, the sting of flashing her EBT card as eyes judged. Her girl asking if folks hated them for being broke. Then Vin, calm, real. She finished with a line she hadn't planned. Some don't fight, they just stand so we can stand taller. It spread fast, hundreds shared, then thousands. The noise grew, but Shanice felt something shift inside her. By week's end, the hashtag faded. The news chased fresh bait, as it does. But a quiet ripple lingered, unspoken, unforgotten. Vin didn't care for the buzz, never did. He ran Fresno's empty streets at dawn, lifted in silence, taped his hands alone in the gym's back room. The world could yell. He'd keep moving. But that night stuck, a weight in his chest he couldn't shake. Maybe it was Shanice's face or her girl's cautious hope or his own reflection. Echoes of his mom's battles, undefended. On Friday, Vin pulled into the lot of the East Side Community Hub on Cedar Avenue. It was small, alive with warmth. Kids in scuffed shoes darting around, parents carpooling, laughter spilling out. No cameras, no hype, just a duffel of old gear, gloves, sneakers, wraps he'd need but some kid might. He planned to drop it and go, but a voice stopped him. Vin. He turned. Shanice stood by the rec room door, a clipboard under her arm, her daughter's hand in hers, a juice pouch dangling. Shanice smiled, casual, like the viral storm hadn't touched her. Didn't think I'd catch you here, Vin said. I help out Fridays, she replied. They've got a support group. I do check-ins, pays and snacks and doodles. Her girl, Tiana, stepped up, tugging his sleeve. You helped my mom, she said, small but sure. Vin nodded down at her. Guess I did. Tiana bobbed her head, sipped her juice, and shuffled back. Shanice laughed, a soft, relieved sound. She's been rehearsing that all week. Vin shifted the bag. Got some stuff, gloves, shoes, gear for the kids. Shanice nodded. That's your style, huh? Quiet giving. He shrugged. Loud doesn't fix much. She eyed him as kids' chatter drifted from the next room. Been thinking about what you said. No explaining myself. Never heard it put like that. Not to my face. He met her gaze. Meant every word. She smiled faintly. I know. Took a sec, but I feel it now. She pulled a folded note from her clipboard, handed it over. Wrote this for Tiana, she said. Part letter, part vow. I want her to know surviving's not weak. It's power. Vin took it, skimmed it, folded it back, and tucked it in his jacket. He didn't say thanks, didn't need to. Tiana chased a stray feather across the floor. Shanice watched her, then said, I used to feel small walking in here, like I owed a story for needing help. Now I just come, no excuses. Vin nodded. That's real strength. She grinned. You teach that to your trainees? He paused. Fighting's just a start. The headspace, that's what lasts. They stood in that calm, not stiff, just right. Shanice checked her watch. Gotta get back. More families to sign in. Vin hefted the bag toward the desk. She turned, then paused. That pie offer stands, she said, smirking. Could be trouble, he replied, chuckling. She vanished around the corner. He dropped the gear, nodded to the volunteer, and stepped outside. The sun dipped low, shadows stretching long across the lot as he reached his truck. He pulled out Shanice's note, unfolded it slow. Her writing was clean, deliberate. A mom's promise born of clarity. It hit him deep beyond any spotlight's glow. At the bottom, she'll know she's enough, not from them, but me. He refolded, slipped it back in his pocket, and drove home quiet. No radio, just the road's hum. He parked, sat in the driveway, dusk softening the sky. His phone buzzed. Trey. Still chasing you for interviews, the text read. Even Ellen's team. Vin left it unanswered. He wasn't after fame, wasn't selling a tale. That store moment wasn't stage. It was a break in the chaos, a choice to see wrong and act. A week later, a local anchor quoted him. Don't owe anybody a reason for getting by. Guest nodded gravely. Shanice's post resurfaced, her words trailing his. Some don't fight. They stand so we can stand taller. At the gym, a kid laced up gloves Vin had left, worn, but solid, from a man who knew standing mattered. Vin never tweeted it, never spoke it on air, but he held every second close. Not for the world, but for himself and the girl with the juice pouch who'd grow up knowing someone saw her mom. That was enough. Shanice kept volunteering. Tiana kept sipping juice, and the note stayed in his jacket, a quiet anchor. The noise faded, but the weight didn't. He ran his routes, lifted his weights, lived his rhythm, letting the moment settle where it belonged, deep and still. One evening, Vin sat on his porch, city lights flickering alive. He thought of his mom's tired hands, Shanice's steady nod, Tiana's small voice. His phone lit up. Trey again. They're still asking. The message said, your call. Vin typed back, "Let it be." He set the phone down, leaned back, and watched the stars peek through. The clip still circled, but he didn't watch. He didn't need to. It wasn't his story anymore. It was theirs, shared by anyone who'd ever felt unseen. The gym stayed his refuge. Sweat, silence, focus. A kid there asked once, "You the guy from the video?" Vin shrugged. "Just a guy." The kid nodded, strapped on the gloves, and threw a punch. Awkward, but Shanice's note never left his jacket. He'd read it again sometimes late, when the world hushed. Her words, Tiana's future, his mom's past. They wove together, a thread he didn't chase but couldn't cut. The buzz died, but the echo didn't, lingering in quiet corners. Weeks later, he saw Shanice at the hub again, Tiana trailing with a new juice pouch. "You're back," she said, smiling. Dropping more gear, he replied, bag in hand. Tiana piped up, "Thanks to my mom." He nodded, "Anytime." Shanice laughed. "She's got you on repeat." Vin grinned, set the bag down, and walked out. The sun sank, air cool. He didn't check the trending list. Didn't need to. That night in the store wasn't a headline. It was a hand extended, caught, and held. Somewhere, a news segment replayed his line, solemn and sharp. Shanice's words followed, soft but sure. At the hub, a teen shadow box with Vin's old gloves. Stance shaky but growing. Vin kept moving, runs, lifts, stillness, carrying that night not as a trophy but a marker. For him, for Shanice, for Tiana, it was enough. The world spun on loud and fast, but in that Fresno lot, under flickering lights, something stood firm, unscripted, human, and whole. The fluorescent lights of QuickSave on Elm Street flickered as Vin Diesel stepped into the chaos. A young mother, Shanice, trembling at the self-checkout, her 5-year-old daughter Tiana clutching her leg, wide-eyed and silent. 3 men loomed, their taunts sharp as knives, slicing to the Fresno air with racist venom. The store held its breath, complicit in silence, until Vin moved. No script, no spotlight, just a man in a black hoodie, his voice a low thunder. "Back off." In seconds, he twisted a wrist, dropped the bully to his knees, and turned apathy into awe. Shanice swiped her card, tears held back, and Tiana peeked up, hope flickering in her gaze. That night, under a sky bruised with dusk, Vin taught us 2 truths. First, courage isn't loud. It's a quiet step forward when no one else will. The choice to stand 6 feet tall against hate, not for glory, but because it's right. He didn't swing wild. He moved with precision, a storm brewing under still waters, proving one man can shift a room's gravity. Second, survival's no shame. It's a badge forged in fire. Shanice, 25 and weary, didn't know those jeering strangers a damn thing. Not the 2.5 gallons of grit she poured into every day. Not the $10 on her car for bread and wipes. Vin saw her, handed her that loaf, and said, "You don't owe anybody a reason for getting by." His words hit like a punch, echoing across America's 3,000 miles, from Fresno's dusty lots to every corner where the invisible fight to breathe. In that 300-square-foot aisle, under flickering lights, he didn't just save a moment. He carved a lesson into the concrete of our souls. What would you do if you saw Shanice cornered by hate in that Fresno QuickSave? Stay silent or step up like Vin Diesel? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button and smash subscribe to my YouTube channel for more raw, real stories that spark courage and grit. Let's build a community that stands tall. Your voice matters. So join me and let's keep the conversation alive.